This is commentary on the workbook in A Course in Miracles, Lesson 97, I Am Spirit. Uh, let's see. Today's idea is one we're practicing the series where we began in understanding that the miracles that exist inside of us, the miracle of forgiveness that will help us remember who we are, um, in order for them to become aware of us, to become aware that they're already there, we have to begin to change our concepts of ourselves. And we're changing that concept from this little self of a body to a truer self, a self that is seen in the light, and that light is strength and sinlessness. And that strength is the strength of the oneness of creation, and that when we try and join in that strength, we're joining with all of creation, the oneness of all creation, all beings and all things. And recently, what we've been studying is that bodies and minds cannot be both of what we are, that one cancels out the other, that if we're a body, then our mind is true mind is gone from our awareness, and and if we're a mind, then the body is gone from our awareness. And so we're training ourselves to see that the body is just an idea in our minds about who we are, and in the ego's hands, that idea is one in which we are that body. In the Holy Spirit's hands, the body is an idea in our minds of being a communication instrument that communicates love, miracles, and communicates the idea that we're not bodies. And so let me just bring up the introduction the workbook, because when we say we're not bodies, the Course recognizes that we don't believe that, and it doesn't expect us to believe it. What it expects us to do is to practice so we can see the truth of the fact that we're not bodies. So in the introduction it says, some of the ideas the workbook presents you will find hard to believe, and others may seem quite startling. This does not matter. You are merely asked to apply the ideas as you're directed to do. You're not asked to judge them at all. You are asked only to use them, and it is their use that will give them meaning to you and will show you that they are true. Remember only this: you need not believe the ideas, you need not accept them, you need not even welcome them. Some of them you may actively resist. None of this will matter nor decrease their efficacy. But do not allow yourself to make exceptions in applying the ideas the workbook contains, and whatever your reaction to the ideas may be, use them. Nothing more than that is required. And so the Course in Miracles is a philosophy for the street. It's a path, it's a spiritual path that happens in our everyday life when we're going along and we're in conflict with somebody or something, or it may not seem to be conflict, we're doing anything, and for a moment we stop and we address that other person and say, my dear sister, we're not this tiny, we say this inside ourselves, we give this idea, we're not this tiny little body. Why should we fight over these puny little scraps when we are that spirit itself, when we are that oneness, that there's no end to us, no end to our love and joy. And that's the miracle, and that's the holy instant. And when we give that idea away to someone, that idea increases in that one mind. And that's what we're practicing when we do these lessons. We are practicing that holy instant. We're practicing now so that in our life, in our actual, quote unquote, actual life, we're able to practice it. Okay, so today's idea identifies you with your one self. It accepts no split identity, nor tries to weave opposing factors into unity. It simply states the truth. Practice this truth today as often as you can, for it will bring your mind from conflict to the quiet fields of peace. No chill of fear can enter, for your mind has been absolved from madness, letting go illusions of a split identity. We state again the truth about yourself, the Holy Son of God who rests in you, whose mind has been restored to sanity. You are the Spirit, lovingly endowed with all your Father's love and peace and joy. You are the Spirit which completes himself and shares his function as Creator. He is with you always, as you are with him. Today we try and bring reality still closer to your mind. Each time you practice, awareness is brought a little nearer at least. Sometimes 1,000 years or more are saved. The minutes you give are multiplied over and over, for the miracle makes use of time, but is not ruled by it. Salvation is a miracle, the first and last, the first that is the last, for it is one. You are the Spirit in whose mind abides the miracle in which all time stands still. The miracle in which a minute spent in using these ideas becomes a time that has no limit and has no end. Give then these minutes willingly and count on him who promised to lay timelessness beside them. He will offer all his strength to every little effort you make. Give him the minutes which he needs today to help you understand with him. You are the Spirit that abides in him and calls through his voice to everything, offers his sight to everyone who asks, replaces error with the simple truth. The Holy Spirit will be glad to take 5 minutes of each hour from your hands and carry them around this aching world where pain and misery appear to rule. Now just think about that. This is our practice. We try for the first 5 minutes of every hour. And that we're giving this idea that we've received from the Holy Spirit. We're giving this back to the Holy Spirit. And the Holy Spirit is bringing this to all minds, anywhere, right as we practice, where there's pain and misery in the world. And he will not overlook one open mind that will accept the healing gifts they bring, and he will lay them everywhere he knows they will be welcome. And they will increase in healing power each time someone accepts them as his thoughts and uses them to heal. And so this is this idea that we have to take this on faith, but faith has to be supplemented with experience. We need some experience inside of ourselves that the truth of spirit is what we are, that the truth is we're not a body, we're a mind, and that the mind functions with ideas. And what cancels out this physical sense of self is this dynamic that if I give away an idea and someone accepts that idea, I haven't lost that idea. The idea has gotten bigger. And that's not true of physical things. If I give you a physical thing, it's gone from me. So getting in touch with these ideas and how ideas are given and receiving gives us this experience of our truer self, of our mind. Thus will each gift to him be multiplied 1,000-fold and tens of thousands more. And when it is returned to you, it will surpass in might the little gift you gave. As much does the radiance of the sun outshine the tiny gleam a firefly makes an uncertain moment and goes out. The steady brilliance of this light remains and leads you out of darkness, nor will you be able to forget the way again. So we begin these happy exercises with the words the Holy Spirit speaks to you, and let them echo round the world through him. Spirit am I, a holy Son of God, free of all limits, safe and healed and whole, free to forgive and free to save the world. Expressed through you, the Holy Spirit will accept this gift that you received of him and increase its power and give it back to you. Offer each practice period today gladly to him, and he will speak to you, reminding you that you are spirit, one with him and God, your brothers and yourself. Listen for his assurance every time you speak the words he offers you today, and let him tell your mind that they are true. Use them against temptation and escape its sorry consequences if you yield to the belief that you're something else. The Holy Spirit gives you peace today. Receive his words and offer them to him. Okay, that's it for today. We're encouraged to practice as much as we can. If you can take that first 5 minutes of every hour and practice, that'd be the best that we can do. We should remind ourselves, we can say this to ourselves all day long as often as we can. I am spirit, spirit am I, free of limits, a holy child of God. I'm free to forgive, free to save the world. We can say that to ourselves as often as we can, and surely if we're tempted in a situation to be in conflict, to lose our peace, to lose our joy, to lose the love that is our reality, then we can practice well in that circumstance. And we can share this idea we're not bodies, we are spirit. And that in that moment we will experience what we took on faith to be true, we'll experience, and we will convince ourselves more and more that we are that spirit. Okay, well, practice well today. Thank you.